Alright, welcome to the Game is the Game podcast. This is episode 1. I go by the name Jermainebiz. Yeah, I'm from London, and this is actually episode 2. I had a pre-recorded one that was written. I pretty much wrote word for word what I was gonna say, but then I said nah. I had to scrap that. So from now I'm just gonna freestyle them. I got a few notes, but nothing major to stick to the topic. So I thought, alright, where do you start with episode 1? So I thought, alright, let me start from the very well. Let me go as far back as necessary. So I thought secondary school is far enough. Secondary school, with year 11, I was like, I didn't want to go to school. Like, I had enough of that system, that setup, and it was like, this is not working for me. Not that school is not for everybody, but it just didn't work for me. I didn't see the benefit of it. Although that affected me later, but at the time, I didn't see it. So yeah, I'm sometimes going, sometimes not, Then obviously exam time comes, coursework time comes, and obviously I'm behind, I'm slacking. So I did get GCSEs, but they weren't too great, to be honest. I think I only got 2 C's, and the rest probably not even worth mentioning. So the C's was in business studies and geography, so it wasn't even English and maths, right? So this leads me on to the next thing. So because you mess up in one stage of your life, it carries on to the next stage. Like, if you didn't secure the foundation at level 1, then you can't really go to level 2 without it. So now I'm in college, I'm 16, 17, 18, and having to redo maths and English because I didn't get them in school. So now I'm studying, I think, business, can't remember what else, but maths and English as well to make up for lost time. Anyway, towards the end of college now, it's like, okay, what do you want to do? And everyone's like, oh, okay, it's time to go to uni. I'm thinking, I've been in education for like 18. I'm 18 at this point, so from 5 to 18, I went for 13 years. It's like, okay, I'm done with it. And then they're like, oh yeah, but you should apply anyway. Nah. So anyway, I ended up going to work for about a year. Working in, like, I think I was in WH Smith, serving customers, customer service and that. But something told me, okay, this is not where I want to be. So the money that I stacked, I used that to pay for the first year of uni. But even when I got to uni, now I remember, because my grades were slacking, I had to then redo another course to prove that I can get in before I could even get to the main course. So yeah, I just want to stress that point, that when you slack at one level, it hinders you from moving on to the next level. So you always gotta, even if you don't plan to go that way, execute anyway. So you're secured if that's what comes to it. So anyway, now uni comes, I'm doing that, and it's like, I don't even know why I'm here, man. Like, I knew I didn't want to be here, but not knowing another route to take, it's like, this is where everybody ends up. And it wasn't just me. I remember there was some other guys, and I just looked at them like, I don't even know why you're here either. It's like, we're all here because it feels like we have to be here, not because we want to be here, or not because even being here is going to benefit us. We're just here because that's the way, or at least that's the way that we was taught. So then, yeah, uni comes to an end now, and it's like, oh yeah, no, let me go back. So first I started doing business and accounting, but I didn't feel that was what I wanted to do, or it didn't feel challenging enough. So then I changed to economics. I wanted to learn about how the markets work. And even at the time, it was a myth. It was too confusing because I joined at the end of year 2, I think. So I had to do year 1 and year 2 at the same time. So it was like, it was a lot. So then eventually I graduate, move on to the job scene now. Job scene is dead. And it's like, okay, you got an economics degree, but you don't want to be an economist. So now what? So it's like, okay, let me just get an office job. And then the office job is like, I think it was 18k. And this is in Liverpool Street, Zone 1. Traveling to Zone 1 is a madness. So then you're paying premium prices to get to the place, and that's the heart of the city where all the money is. But your job itself, you could have had that same salary had you not even gone to uni. So anyway, I'm doing that for now like 2 years or whatever it was. That's like, nah, I can't keep doing this. So eventually I leave, and then I find another job, and then similar circumstance, same old, and then another job, and then another one. Then I think it gets to 2019 now, and I'm like, this can't continue like this. Surely there's more to life than just these soul killing jobs where you're like, okay, like I'm thinking to myself, can I do this until I'm 65? Because this is a long ass time. This is like 40 plus years. And imagine, and I look around me at the time, and I'm just like if you walk through places like Liverpool Street and these kind of places, everybody's just in a rush. It's just like a soulless place where everybody's just moving. No one stops to it doesn't look like it anyway, where anyone stops to think and like, bruh, what are we doing? You know, it's like a conveyor belt. The system sets you up where you go to school, go to college, go to uni, get a job, work the job for like, well, maybe not the same job, but work in that field 20, 30, 40 years. And then, then you retire. And then you're 60 odd. And then you may have 5-10 years left. And then, it's time to expire. It's like, is that life? I always thought to myself, is that life? I didn't know another way at the time. But I knew this cannot be the only way. Surely not. So anyway, these times I'm listening to podcasts. Gaining knowledge, but not too much, but things that, because I don't understand these things. So I started listening to investment podcasts, but I don't have anybody around me at the time that's investing. Like not even one person. Like this is not even exaggeration. Like, I don't know anyone that's investing. So it's like I don't have anyone to speak to. So again, I'm just taking in podcasts. Then 2019 comes, and I'm like, okay, I gotta take action. I gotta do something. So eventually I open a ISA with Vanguard, and then it was just basic index funds at the time. Even though that's what I recommend everybody should start with that. Get the ball rolling until you learn something else. But yeah, it was just index funds, and then this is 2019, end of 2019. Then 2020 came, and then boom, February, March time, market crashed. Then it's like, okay, this is an opportunity. So now I took a loan. So I went deep, and then, to be honest, at the beginning it worked. I turned, and I basically doubled the money, because everything went from super low prices to super high prices in the space of like a month. But obviously these times I'm an amateur, so I don't know when to take profits. So it's up now, but then almost as fast as it went up, it vanished, just like that. So then I took the money out that I had, gave the bank their money back, and then I said, okay, I don't know what, this is not for me. So then I took a little break, but eventually then I got into something even more crazy, options. So this was towards the end of 2020. This is like August, September, October times. And then this was even more crazy, because it went from the stocks I was getting anywhere from 60, 70, 80, 100%. Even that's mad. But the options was like 300%. So can you imagine putting money in and you're up 300% in no time, couple weeks, couple months? But again, didn't learn my mistake, didn't take profit. Next minute, account's blown up. And in fact, with options it's even worse, because they fall at as fast as they go up, they come down much faster. So, and I wasn't prepared for what came. So it's like, okay, I'm up, I'm down. I'm up, I'm down. This is crazy. So then, again, I took a few months out. I said, okay, I need to rebuild, and I need to build wealth the right way. And I think building wealth it's a journey. It's not like a couple weeks, couple months, and you made it. It's going to take a solid 7 to 10 years to build a strong foundation. So that's the whole point of Unfoldable, to be honest. It's a mindset, but you can also apply it to the wealth game. So the Unfoldable is philosophy I came up with after all these wins and losses, setbacks. So it just means that whatever happens in life, you don't fold. Never fold. you'd keep going no matter what happens. You gotta affirm that, stand tall, stand firm. And it's a philosophy that's quite fluid actually, because it doesn't mean I don't need to stand for the same things you stand for. You don't need to stand for the same things the next man stands for. But everybody needs to stand for what they stand for. And you can never let somebody trick you out of your position and, start doing stuff that goes against your principles, because then as soon as you do that, you folded. Even if you don't think so, from the first time it happens, you've been infiltrated, and then boom, slowly but surely you start doing stuff that goes against what you stand for. Then you fold it, So, but you can also apply it to money, I was thinking, because the whole point of wealth, they always say the rich get richer and the poor get poorer. But that's because the money doesn't fold. They don't get rich. Well, maybe some people get rich, through ill means and, theft and robbery and all kind of madness. But not everybody gets rich like that. You can build wealth in a righteous way by just not folding, by investing in solid stocks, solid property, creating a solid business. So I was thinking, yeah, man, we can just double down on the mindset and the wealth building, bring it together, and then we got Unfoldable Wealth, And then under that, now we have the Game is the Game podcast, which is this. And for me, it came from the Game is the Game is another philosophy actually. It's like it is what it is. What will be, Or if you're a yard man, so it go. It's just like a stoic kind of philosophy where, a stoic is a person who can endure pain or hardship without showing their feelings or complaining. That's what it's about. Whatever you go through, you don't complain. You just firm that. It's part of the game. It's part of life. So a bit like Extreme Ownership by Jocko Willink. If you've seen it, it's like, he's a Navy SEAL, and basically the whole point of it is to take ownership of everything around you. Doesn't even have to be your fault, but it's your responsibility to own that. So it's all a mindset thing, philosophy, principles to wealth building, principles to strengthening your mind, and that's what I'm about. So this I was listening to Nas One Mic. It got me thinking. He's got this track called One Mic, and he says, all I need is one mic to spread my voice to the world. This is crazy. I'm on the right track. I'm finally found. You need some soul searching. The time is now. So I feel like this is my time, because I've been consuming a lot of content for a lot of years now. A good 10 years solid. Just debate names: Gary V, Grant Cardone, Eric Thomas, Lewis House, everyone that you can think of. I must have listened to them. But then it's like sometimes you have to make your own path, your own way, and some of them say contradictory things as well. So one person might be like, never buy a house, and then the next guy might be like, buy your own home. It's like, okay, which one do I follow? Because both are sound advice, but they might not be the best advice for you. So I cut down all of them. I basically stopped social media, to be honest, because it's a strange place with some strange people. I don't think you should be exposed to so many thoughts and opinions, and it's like, as much as you can try and avoid being sucked in, you just, because of the algorithms, you just get sucked into just madness, just foolishness, just people debating about who's paying for dinner and how much we're paying for dinner, and just stuff that's not gonna progress you in any way, shape or form. It's just, for me, it's just like with them things, just do what you feel is best, So yeah, man, this is the podcast to get my thoughts out there. This is my time, and I think I got a lot to say. I got a lot that people can relate to, because my journey is, sometimes you look at people and it's like they're so far away from where you are that no matter what they say, you're like, I can't relate to that. So even if they say basic stuff, you're looking at them and you're like, yeah, but you're in that position, blah blah blah. But for me, it's like, I'm still close, I'm still relevant, I'm still on the journey myself. It wasn't too long ago where I might have been in your shoes, or you might have been in mine. And it's like, the things that I've experienced now, the knowledge that I've gained, I'm trying to put it all into action. And now it's like when you ride a bike, or start to learn to ride a bike, and you're like falling off, and then eventually you get it. And then for me, it feels like now I've got it. Like I took so many L's that I can't go back to that. Now I've seen the way, and the way is slow money. The way is slow wealth building. The way is you find a few solid stocks, and when I say a few, I'm talking a handful, 10 or less, and you just go consistently into the same ones, no matter if they're up or down. No matter the market conditions, up or down, bear or bull, don't matter. Just keep going every week, every month. Buy, hold. That's it. And then you'll see after what? 2, 3, 4, 5, 10 years, the wealth will build naturally, compounding. Compound interest, that's the way. Because when you're trading and you're in and out, you can't time as much as you think you can. You can't time it to perfection. So you're going to take losses. When you hold, yeah, you might be down on paper, but as long as you don't sell, you just keep adding to it. And as long as it's a solid company, it's eventually going to get back up. So, that's the whole point of Unfoldable Wealth. Just slow grind, wealth building. That's what I'm on. And that's what the message I'm going to be spreading. So, yeah, I'm here for that. So, yeah, it got me thinking about, Paid in Full. Because it's up there as probably one of, I would definitely top 5 movies. And I wanted to talk about a particular scene in the movie where, so Ace, they're in a room. So there's two guys, Ace and Mitch. They're sitting in a room, and Ace he's wounded. He's bandaged up, he's cut up, because he just has survived an attempt on his life. He's contemplating, and he's talking about the game. And he's like, no matter how much I tried to stay out the limelight, the game always found me, And when it did find me, it showed me that it didn't love me, because things came with the game that he wasn't ready for. And, Mitch is like the total opposite. He's flashy. He loves it. And he's looking back at him, and he's like, you can see he's like, yeah, I understand you, but I love the game. He goes in, he's like, a nigga like me, man, I love the game. I love the hustle, man. I be feeling like one of them ball playing niggas, like Bird or Magic or something. Yeah, a nigga got dope. A nigga can leave the league. But if I leave, the fans still gonna love me, man. And I love that scene, because it's like, you can see the joy in his face. He really means what he says. He loves the game and everything that comes with it. But at the same time, I think he's blindsided by it. Because, like Ace said, the game don't love you back. And it went on to show, well, I'm going to ruin it for you if you haven't seen it, but you'll see that, yeah, the game doesn't love you, man. So I'm thinking, yeah, you got to love, well, one, you can't be like Ace and, want a timeout or not to participate or want the money but not what comes with it. Because, the game, it doesn't care about none of that stuff. The ball's always in play. So whether you want to sit out or not, the clock is still ticking. You have to fall in love with the process. Fall in love with what you're doing, but not the game itself. Not any of the nonsense that comes with it. Because it gets me thinking like, this always happens with athletes. So you think about Anthony Joshua or someone like that, and it's like, all right, he's on his way up now. Heavyweight champ. Women are loving him. Guys are loving him. Everyone's rooting for him. He's the man. He takes a loss now. Now what happens? Now everyone starts to, I don't know about that guy. Is he really the man? Everyone starts to back off. I don't rate him. I don't think he's that good. He's chinny. And so on and so on. And then he wins again. Then he's on top. And then the fans are back. And then he loses. And then they start to disappear again. So if he ever gets caught up in the fanfare of, the love of the people around it and not the art of boxing itself, he'll end up like Mitch, but he doesn't, at the same time, he doesn't want to be like Ace where, now he hates, he despises the game. He wants out of the game. Because I believe that you still need to play the game. Whether you love it or hate it, you forget that you have to be indifferent towards it. Don't let it draw you in. Play your position. And that's, for me, that's the dichotomy of the game. Anyway, It's been a minute, so thanks for listening. Your fight for freedom is in play. Never fold. Give thanks. Seek wisdom. Peace be with you, now and forevermore. And always remember, the game is the game.